In Gemini astrology, prime factor char karkas have two thoughts on their numbers. Astromaster U K Jha, some schools says that there are 7 karakas and another one says 8 karakas. Can you put some light on this issue from the sage's version, as you have mentioned 7 karakas in your famous book on char dasha? So do you agree with 8 karakas theory propagated by few astrocamps nowadays?
I know there are the people who subscribe to the view of having 8 karkas, 8 char karkas in Gemini system of astrology. The controversy is not new. It seems to be very old. Even in that very sutra, as we find as of date, the mention is saptastam va, and 7 or 8 karkas. It can also be said that somebody has corrected this sutra to add ashtam. But let us state that this sutra is unadulterated. It has come from the original author. Then the question is whether there should be 7 char karkas or 8 char karkas for the purpose of prediction. I can tell you one thing, that whenever the issue of controversy arises and we don't find a strong shaft of light on the topic in the text, then we are left with only instrument, and that is our self-reasoning. The power of our logical faculty, the deep sense of our own reasoning, and this has to be done with a transient mind. Your logic and reasoning must be incisive. That was the biggest tool of the Vedic sages. They tried to understand everything in the light of reasoning only. Even the recondite things like mind, soul, death, concept of Godhead, everything is based on very sound reasoning. So here also we can apply only reason to track out this issue. The problem is that when we move on the path or quest of truth, the biggest thing that we lose is the option of making convenient compromises. The search of truth does not allow us any margin for making any compromise. In JUS, Gemini Upadesha Sutra, you find the mention of 7, 8 karkas. But in other books on the same topic, be it in Sanskrit or in other vernacular languages in different parts of this country, you will find interpretations. So we will have to go through the Sutra of Gemini and the detailed interpretations that are found in other texts. And then we will have to compare it and to arrive at a decision logically. When we say that Gemini supports this view, then the question comes, why Gemini has named only 7 karkas? If the author of Gemini Upadesh Sutra, the master who formulated these aphorisms, could have easily named 8 karka also. But that is not there in that text. This implies that at the time of formulation of this sutra, if we consider that this sutra has not been adulterated, then we will have to agree that this controversy was even at the time when this sutra was being formulated, when it was being written, and the author was aware of this fact. But he was not in support of the 8 karka, and this comes from the fact that he has named only 7 karkas and left the option for those who were in support of the 8 karka to their own choice. In Brihat Parasar Hora Sast, Ved Karka and other texts, you will find how to arrive at 8 karka. Now let us analyze that part also. Actually the issue emanates from the condition, which is a hypothetical condition, that when 2 planets will have same longitude to the extent of seconds, then how to decide? For sorting out this issue, they have infused Rahu as also one of the karka. Now see what is being done in the process. When 2 planets have same longitude, the longitude of Rahu is considered. So suppose Atma Karak is decided, and at the next step 2 planets are having same longitude. Then they use Rahu. Now here comes 2 questions. Suppose the degree attained by Rahu is lesser than the degree or longitude attained by those clashing planets, then Rahu will not be helpful. Because Rahu's degree has to be above that to get the position of Amartya Karak. Now suppose if we arbitrarily infuse Rahu in that case, then the 3rd Karak, the same problem will persist for the determination of the 3rd Karak. Many people say that both of that planet will become that karka. For example, say Rahu becomes the Atma Karak. Then the 2 planets who are having same longitude, both will be taken as Amartya Karaka. Now look at the absurdity in this compromise. How 2 planets can control the same aspect. If suppose the job of Amartya Karak is stretched between Saturn and Mars or any other planet for that sake, this means that the force field related to that Karak expressed, naturally the working will not be perfect. This is one flaw in this theory. Second thing, Suppose two planets having same longitude are in the lower runs of that series of karkas. I am talking of this two planets, there are two sets of same planets. Then some people argue that Ketu should be infused. Now if there is, because it is a hypothetical condition we are discussing, suppose there is three sets of planets having same longitude. That is, out of the 7 planets, 6 planets are there who have the same longitude. Then where from we will bring another? Other question is that if we can make a compromise that two planets have same longitude, can discharge the duty of the same karkas, as I told in case of Amasya karka, two planets having longitude, same longitude, both will become Amasya karka. Then the same thing can be applied to Atma karka also. Why to bring Rahu or Ketu into picture? If there can be two Amasya karak or two Putra karak, then there can be two Atma karak also. But they are not taking this, and they have no answer. Why don't they take it like that? They don't take it because from Atma karak, they have to find out karkams. If there will be two Atma karka, there will be two karkams. And we cannot take two karkams lagna in the nativity. So there they become silent. It exposes their logical weakness and over enthusiasm for bringing the lunar nodes for the purpose of fitting it in the scheme of karkas. They cannot take two planets as Atma karak because there will be two karkams. Then those intelligent people could have devised another process also, say on the basis of strength or anything, that whichever is stronger or whichever is weaker, or some criteria could have been given that out of the two Atma karak or two karkams, only this karkam should be taken. That exercise nobody has done. One should have critically examined the suggestions made in the form of compromise. So what I say is Rahu and Ketu has been brought into the picture, and after that when we say that two planets can become char karka for the same purpose, then it can be to Atma karak also. But they are not taking Atma karak because they have to decide karkam. Second thing, suppose Rahu becomes Atma karak, then what would be swams or karkams for that purpose? See, I can tell you that chapter on Gemini Upadesha Sutra is on swams, not on karkams. Unfortunately, many people don't understand the difference between karkams, lagnams and swams. I have explained it in my same book that you have heard, Chardasa, Gemini Chardasa. And these articles who were published earlier have been clubbed in that book. So, if Rahu becomes the Atma karak, karkam will be the sign when Rahu is in the Navamsa. But what about Swamsa? Because Rahu doesn't have lordship over any sign. Even in Chardasa calculation, those who have infused Rahu have or given the dual lordship of Aquarius and Scorpio. There also they have made provisions in what conditions this lordship will go to whom. And everything is very clumsy that I have elaborated in my book on Chardasa. So what I mean to say is Swamsa cannot be decided if Rahu becomes the Atma Karka. And if Swamsa can't be decided, then where is the question of having 8 Karka? The author of Gemini Sutra was very intelligent. He might have been laughing, I guess, on the wisdom of those who were supporting the concept of 8 Karka. That's why very smartly he has named only 7 Karkas and appeared clear from it any controversy. But the controversy persisted. Here I am telling assertively that, okay, I welcome you. Convince me with the 8th Karka, and the condition that I have spoken is the same. If Swamsa can't be decided, then the entire chapter of Gemini will become redundant. If you go through those aphorisms in that chapter, I think there is only one sutra where the word karkams has come. Whereas the name of the chapter is Swamsa. Many people get confused with karkamsa is Swamsa. Others who try to find out what is Swamsa go into very absurd, illogical and unintelligible arguments. As if the reasoning faculty is totally lost there. So what I say that Rahu and Ketu is not required to be jutted into this scheme of Karkas. This is a hypothetical thing, and if that hypothetical thing, if at all occurs in any nativity where the books are silent, then for those 2 planets who are having the same longitude, the other criteria need to be devised out by the scholars in a joint conference without making any compromise and with sound reasoning, and formulate the system by which it can be decided. Again I repeat, Rahu and Ketu has no place in this scheme. So long in my entire life, I have not met a single horoscope where this condition has occurred. Others might have faced. They should come out that condition. Otherwise, this is a discussion only for a hypothetical condition, and if at all that becomes a reality, then a system has to be devised out without taking Rahu and Ketu into consideration. Because if you can, this I am telling, since we can take 2 planets as 1 Karka, then the same thing can be applied for the purpose of determination of Atma Karka also, and which one is to be taken is an issue to be decided. That's why I support strongly only 7 Karkas. There is no point of talking 8 Karkas. As I have explained here that Rahu and Ketu cannot be taken. Because if at all Rahu comes, the problem of Swamsa remains unsolved. So we will be again back to the same aspect. That condition should not happen. The text is given, the name of only 7 karkas, and only 7 karkas should be taken. And for that hypothetical condition, the process of compromise that has been made in few texts, that compromise should be rejected. A new methodology has to be developed by the scholars. All the savants should sit together, give reasons. There should be a thorough discussion, and only then it can be taken. We cannot accept because it is given in some text. I told you, even if you accept that condition, the question of Swamsa remains unsolved. So Rahu is not becoming helpful in solving that problem. Then why to consider Rahu? So as of date, as the things go on, I support only 7 karkas, and for that hypothetical condition, the issues can be raised in the forum of intellectuals, where views from various cross-sections can be invited, a detailed discussion can be held, and only after going through all those deliberations, some concrete findings can be evolved. So long it is not done, we should go only for 7 karkas, and the concept of 8 karkas, by the process of making compromises as is given in few texts, should be outrightly rejected. And I have rejected. I appeal to all the intellectuals to reject that, and for that hypothetical condition, the new methodology has to be chalked out. So I am in the view of 7 karkas, that's why I am supporting only 7 karkas, and vehemently reject all those arguments of 8 karkas. Because Rahu is not helpful in deciding the Swamsa. That's all.